ready?
Yeah, go for it.
I can't help notice your demeanor. Sometimes we see you, real boisterous and having a good time. Today you seem very kind of calm and focused. How are you feeling right now?
You hit it right. I'm focused. I know how tough this fight is going to be. I'm expecting a 3-round war. The only added pressure I say is I want it to live up to the hype. I don't want it to be a big upset like the Jeremy Stephens fight. I really want the fans to get a fight of the night out of this. I'm expecting the best out of myself, and I definitely don't want to disappoint my bosses.
How do you make that happen? I mean, obviously sometimes when you go in expecting a fight to go one way, and like you said, it doesn't. How do you ensure that it does end up being a fight of the night?
Well, because I think for me, I didn't really play into the hype of everybody wanting it to be a fight of the night. I just kind of took it in stride, and when people made their opinions about it, I just kept myself grounded and focused on my task, I know everybody wants to see fight of the night. I do too, I mean? It'd be a rewarding payday. But I'm not thinking about the money right now. I'm thinking about going out and performing to my best that I know how. Me and Donald were able to talk quite a bit for this fight. And, there's always agreements, but there's always the backfall to what a guy's, what his strengths are. And we both agreed to go in there and bang and give the fans what they want. It's Donald's hometown, so I know he's going to bring it. So I'm just keeping myself grounded and focused on the task. But the biggest task of all is winning, I'm tired of getting close to certain accomplishments and then having setbacks, Right now my life is built around success, and success starts outside the ring and inside, and I just want to be successful on August 11th.
You said the last couple fights that you had, there was always title talk and, where does this pull you and are you #1? I guess now it's probably a little bit different after the setbacks. Is that better or worse for you that you don't have to deal with that?
It's better. It's better for me because there's no pressure of chasing a title, 5-fight win streak, it was fun, but at this weight class right now, I don't think anybody's going to get on a win streak anymore. The 155 class, the depth chart is so sick. It's about picking the right fights. It's not about getting 6 fights, because I can go and fight 6 fights and it'd be 6 scrubs. That doesn't guarantee me a spot. You have to beat the elite to fight with the elite. And I've always been considered an elite fighter, but I want to make my staple in the career. I want to put my mark on it in this weight class. A lot of guys, they switch from weight class to weight class. It's not my thing. I'm a 55er. It's the best weight class for me. I know I can win at 55, and I know I can be a 55 champion. So I'm going to just keep grinding, man. And there's going to be other setbacks along the way. I know it is. That's life. But I'm expecting them.
How does that picking fights work for you? You said on the conference call, one thing I wanted to clarify is that you said what you said now, that you want to pick fights, and you're not, same thing about winning streaks, the fights matter, not the streak. But you're also a guy who prides himself on never turning down a fight. So does that mean that you're in a spot in your career where you might start turning down fights and trying to pick your opponents?
No, I won't never say no to a fight. I come to the conclusion, I think a lot of fights, when I'm offered a fight and maybe it's not a top contender, maybe it's a first-time fighter, sometimes other guys don't take those fights, and sometimes it forces the boss's hands, I guess, to where they have to find these guys to fight. I don't mind welcoming guys to the UFC. I've done it most of my career, but I love the fight. And eventually, me being the guy to step up to fights, taking fights when other guys won't, I think it'll play in my favor. Someday down the line, the bosses will probably just out the blue consider me for a title fight,
Yeah.
So I'm either hoping for that or I'll fight my way to it. Either way, I do what I can to help everybody now in the business, and hopefully somewhere down the line it'll come back in return to help me.
And something else you mentioned that you and Donald have agreed to bang. But what do you make of that agreement? Because sometimes you see guys say, I'm going to give you a fight of the night, and then he comes in and takes you down.
Well, everybody has an agreement until they get hit with that first hard shot. Everybody trying to compare me and Donald sparring matches. We sparred hard, but we still never killed each other because we were in there to work, not hurt each other. We don't get paid to train. We get paid to fight. He pulled his kicks sometimes. He pulled punches. I pulled punches and kicks. Tonight, August 11th, it gets to be the real deal for the first time for the both of us. We were sparring partners for 3 years, but this is our first time actually fighting each other. So it's not going to be the same as a sparring match. And I'm not the same guy when I spar. When I spar, I'll take a beating, I'll get taken down, I'll give up a takedown in the training room, I don't care. But when the lights are on, I'm the man.
Do you expect him to try and take you down at all, though?
Yeah, I'm expecting him to take. Yeah, of course. He's good. He's got good jiu-jitsu, but I train with great jiu-jitsu fighters, and I've been thrown under the bus the last few months, since January. I've been thrown under the bus to some of the best black belts in the world, and I showed in my last fight. I wasn't that wasn't planned, by the way. That just happened that way, but I was prepared, and it proved something to myself that I was very prepared. If I had went in and knocked Camoes out early, nobody would even be caring about how great my jiu-jitsu is. People still be doubting me. So I'm just happy that my coaches like George Santiago and Coach Flavius, all the Brazilian black belts could see that I'm actually trying to put what they taught me to use when it's time. And I know going into this fight with Donald, there's going to be similarities. You know, he's long and lanky. He likes triangle chokes. So I have to be prepared for everything he throws at me.
What do you make of it? I'm sure you've heard it because we've heard it. Fans say, man, Melvin should just lock himself in a gym for a year and train nothing but jiu-jitsu. What's your response to the fans saying that?
I'm not a jiu-jitsu fighter. I'm not training for a Naga tournament. I'm not training for Abu Dhabi. I'm an MMA fighter. People don't understand. It's MMA. You know, it's not, you know, everybody gives so much credit to the jiu-jitsu part of it, but nobody's crying and complaining when I'm knocking guys out in the first round. You know, it's funny you say that because, you know, I check my Twitter quite often, you know, and it's weird, you know, and some people's screen names just stick out because they have like the funniest or the most dumbest screen name. And it's funny, like leading up to the Camoes fight, a lot of people were saying, oh, he's going to get choked out, he's a choke artist, blah, 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 he's never going to be anything. And then as soon as I beat the guy, some of those same people are saying good things about me. So I'm like, dude, you know, it's life, man. That's just what it is. People are going to ride the bandwagon. You know, that's just what it is. But for me, it's about going in there and doing what I do best. I didn't come this long way in the UFC from submitting guys. I got the reputation I got from knocking guys out. That's what I'm here to do. Fans want to see knockouts. The owners want to see knockouts. If you really look at it, they don't even keep guys on the ground that long anymore in the UFC like they used to. It's a quick stand-up sometimes. So you have to have good stand-up to survive in this game. You know, and I think that's where I stand at.
Training at Elevation in Albuquerque for those 3 years, does that help you get ready for coming up here and training at this Elevation?
Yeah, you know, mentally I already knew that that, you know, when I used to go up to Greg's, I would be out of shape, and it would take me at least eight days to get acclimated. I came up here Saturday, and it only took me like 2 days, 3 days, and I was fine. You know, but it's because I'm already in shape from my last fight as well. You know, I'm coming off a fight a little over a month ago. So when I got the message that I was fighting Donald, it was actually the next week after my fight when I got back. I was actually on a golf course when I got the call, and they tried to rush me into the office to go talk to Dana and them, and I was like, I'm playing golf. You know, so it was kind of crazy, but you know, and I didn't even know it was Donald I was fighting. They just told me they wanted me to fight. So I had to wait till I get to the office to find out it was him, and then it was Denver. And I was like, oh man, all right, here's go to altitude. So it's all good though, I'm ready.
What'd you shoot that day anyway?
83.
Right.
83. I'm in the average 80, 83. Yeah.
Not bad. Good.
Thank you, Melvin.
Thank you guys.